Alright everybody. So, this is going to be a quite different video because usually I make gameplay video or tips and tricks or showcase about Anime Last Stand. But for this video, I'm gonna talk about something that's quite different that I don't usually talk about, which is the current state of Anime Last Stand. Now, if you've been playing Anime Last Stand in the past couple of weeks, you've known that the game currently is on a really bad place. And when I say bad, I mean really bad. The current state where Anime Last Stand currently is actually like remind a lot of people of the bad days of Anime Last Stand before Brandon took over the game, which is really bad because we've never seen player count as low as around 13,000, which is currently what the player count is as recording of this video. And I'm gonna talk about, in my opinion, and what likely causes most of this downfall, or most of the player base leaving the game and switching to other game, or just straight up just not playing at all. So first of all, the main reason in my opinion that the game basically start going downhill is when they release update 64, aka the Hunter x Hunter update. Now, this is probably one of the most controversial update that Anime Lesson has ever done, because not only is that update just critically bad for gameplay wise, but unit wise as well. There's not really any hype unit that the player base kind of, what's it called, look for in the update. Even the main unit, which is was it Crollo, is just bad, which is kind of sad because Hunter x Hunter is a really big part of Anime Last Stand, because remember Gon, Killua and stuff like that. But when they actually did what's it called, a proper Hunter x Hunter update, they just kind of flop the entire update. Now there are a couple of reasons, which is the main one is that Anime Last Stand currently, from what Brandon has said, is that they have a new dev team, so that's why the current update that they've been putting out has been kind of different from their usually update. And also they've been trying out new, what's it called, new game mode, which I appreciate. I don't mind the boss grind in Hunter x Hunter update. I think it's a little bit, it's hard, okay? Even for me, a person that has like more than 60 glitch and glorious, it's still quite difficult, I might say. But I don't mind hard content in the game. But the fact that you need to do each stage like 30 times to progress to the next stage, because you need a unit, the evolve item, and you also need to evolve the unit itself, that's kind of brutal in my opinion. And that is the reason number one in my opinion, which is Hunter x Hunter update 64. Now, the second point, this is might be quite controversial thing that I'm going to say, but in my opinion, Anime Last Stand will always be second in the anime tower defense community, okay? And what I mean by that is that Anime Last Stand will only be on top when other anime tower defense games are basically doing bad. So for example, Anime Last Stand current competition is Anime Vanguard and Anime Ranger X, which is the game that Brandon himself owned. And if you see the current state of Anime Vanguard, it's doing amazing. It has around 80,000 player base, player count, which is insanely high even for Anime Vanguard standard, because the last time that they had that many player is like a while ago, to the point where I don't even remember. And then the second competition is Anime Ranger X, which currently has 75,000 player at the time of this video is being recorded, which is nuts. And that game is currently co-owned by Brandon himself. So there's basically three games fighting for the top place in the tower defense community, which is Anime Last Stand, Anime Vanguard, and the newcomer Anime Ranger X. And two of the game is owned by Brandon, which is Anime Last Stand and Anime Ranger X. And what has been happening is that since Brandon owns so many of this tower defense game, he's been kind of shifting his focus from Anime Last Stand to all of the tower defense game that he owned, which is not a bad thing in my opinion, as long as he still maintain the Anime Last Stand game itself, which is the main game. There's nothing wrong with that. But recently, Anime Vanguard just had one of their best update ever. They released a new Vanguard, which is called Kagura, which is one of the best Vanguard in the entire game. And they also released another one, which is Escanor, which is another really good Vanguard that is really easy to get as well. And combined with that, two really good updates, you have yourself basically the top dog of anime tower defense game currently. And then for Anime Ranger X, it's basically the new AFK game. Okay, the game is really simple, it's really easy, like even a 5-year-old could figure out how to basically play this game. And with that, a lot of people have been jumping ship from Anime Last Stand to Anime Vanguard and Anime Ranger X, because let's be real here, okay? I don't want to be mean to the people that play Anime Last Stand, but Anime Last Stand is basically a last option. People only play Anime Last Stand when Anime Last Stand is the last game that had a good update. When Anime Vanguard had that really bad update with Guilty Gear, everybody don't play Anime Vanguard. Everybody jump to Anime Last Stand. But when Anime Vanguard had another good update, everybody jumped back to Anime Vanguard. So what I'm saying is that most people, okay, not everybody, but most people only play Anime Last Stand when other game is having a bad update or just in a bad position, so they play Anime Last Stand. Because Anime Last Stand has a really weird spot in the tower defense community where the game is really easy to get into but really hard to end game. So what I mean by that is that even if you're a really old player, you can still get into the game easily because the bar of entry into the game is so low that anybody can easily play the game. They even added an entire quest line for new player that basically gave them one of the best units for starter player, which is Perfect Seal unit. I know that Anime Vanguard also has that as well, but let's be real here. The point of entry in Anime Last Stand is so much lower than Anime Vanguard. Like Anime Last Stand beginner quest literally gave you a unit that is basically halfway of being done to become a godly. So yeah, that's how insanely low the entry bar is for Anime Last Stand. And that's 2 points, which is the first one is that the update that the game has been put out has been quite underwhelming. Now the recent update that they've put out, which is the Jojo Godly, and also the current one, which is the what's it called again? I forgot what's the newest Bleach update. There you go. The Bleach update and the JoJo update has been really nice. I love it. But the Full Metal Alchemist one, it was just not it. The Full Metal Alchemist one had basically the same problem that the Hunter x Hunter update has, which is that there's so much content, but there's just no character that is worth grinding in the update. Every character is not bad, but it's not good enough to where you actually kind of want to get it. And Hunter x Hunter and Full Metal Alchemist is also sitting in a very weird position in the like anime community where they have some really cool character, but not mainstream character. Like, you know, you have Gon, Killua. Both of them are really popular character, but not mainstream. compare that to the JoJo update. Now, I know that the JoJo was a godly update, but let's be real here. The main, what's it called? One of the main unit that basically everybody has been praising as one of the best unit in the game, the Wonder of You, is really insane. That unit alone is crazy. And then for the Bleach update, they released two insanely strong character, which is the Ulquiorra and also the Aizen evolution, both of them. And they also added a, what's it called, an easy A boost for Yamamoto, making him one of the best fire unit in the game. See, that is what I'm talking about, Anime Last Stand. Like, they can make an insanely good update with really strong unit that is not that hard to get, but then at the same time sometimes they just flop and just drop this random update filled with basically a bunch of unit that is being handpicked from random anime. For example, the Samsung event, like, it's so random. They just had the Samsung unit, and then they had the Crimson Mage from Seven Deadly Sins. They also added the Blue Devil from the Blue Exorcist, and also Grimmjow from Bleach. Like, what is the correlation of all three of these, what's it called, character? It's so random. And the last point that I gotta say for Anime Last Stand is that the gameplay fatigue in Anime Last Stand has kind of hit a little bit for me. In what I mean by that is that once you hit endgame in Anime Last Stand, there's kind of only two things for you to do. You either only do raid for reroll, and you only do infinite, which is the same thing for reroll as well, but you do infinite for other stuff as well, like for example the food and other material. That is the only two things you do on Anime Last Stand once you hit endgame. And as an example, you can see me. Most of my gameplay on Anime Last Stand is just AFK in the game. There's kind of no gameplay in Anime Last Stand where it's kind of fun enough to where you don't want to macro it, but at the same time it's not a game mode that you kind of need to do every single day. And also the tournament itself, I think Anime Last Stand could make a comeback if they properly do tournament, because ever since they released tournament in Anime Last Stand, it's been bad. I hate tournament in Anime Last Stand because the main gist of the entire tournament is just basically bring nuke character. That's it. You bring nuke character and you nuke at like the last second of the game, and that's it. And I know that they added modifier to basically prevent that, but still, I don't like that. I like tournament in Anime Vanguard, in Anime Adventure. I don't know why Anime Last Stand just couldn't make a good tournament, and I kind of know why. It's not really because of the modifier or the tournament itself. It's because of the unit in Anime Last Stand. The unit in Anime Last Stand, it's so overblown, it's so strong that it basically made any content that you make, that you use them in, basically insanely easy. That's why you have some of these characters that are basically so useful. You bring them everywhere, even into places that you shouldn't bring them. Like for example, Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a really old godly by now. Like, he is old. Like, he probably released like a couple of months ago. But look at him now. He's still basically the most used godly in the entire game. And you know what's weirder? He hasn't gone any rework. He hasn't gone any buff, any nerf. He's still the same godly from when he was released. Nothing about Gilgamesh has changed. He is probably the most balanced unit that Anime Last Stand has ever created. but at the same time the most powerful unit. That's how good Gilgamesh is. Like, we've never seen a character that has never received a single balance change or rework like Gilgamesh. Now, money farm doesn't count, only damaging unit. That's why I said Gilgamesh, because that is insanely incredible how basically good Gilgamesh is, even without any buff. Because you see other character like Denji, which he deal more damage to compared to Gilgamesh, but Gilgamesh just has so much more use compared to Denji. So yeah. Anime Last Stand, the game is currently in a really bad place. I love Anime Last Stand. I wish that the game make a comeback, not only because I love Anime Last Stand, I love the community, but at the same time, it's kind of like my job a little bit, you know, to make content on Anime Last Stand. And I just don't really want to jump the gun and go to other game, because I enjoy Anime Last Stand very much, you know. I've been free to play on Anime Last Stand for the longest time. I have spent money on the game before, which is on game passes such as the what's it called again? The 3x speed and also the multi-slot. I've spent money on that, but in terms of bundle, I have never bought a single bundle in the game. And yeah, I hope the game actually make a comeback and basically just went into a good place where it kind of belong, and be able to compete with basically all of the other anime tower defense game like Anime Vanguard and Anime Ranger X. So yeah, that is all for this video. I'm sorry if it's really long. I just kind of yap a lot in the video, but yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.